This is in response to a comment that was made on a video that I did when I talked about well I ever since I first started putting up videos, I tried to communicate openly because I'm an open receiver, cosmic fire, um, to keep it as simple as I possibly can because I'm neutral, the neutral zone. Okay, and that is that it's always my intention, because I experience pure internal, eternal, absolute love in my heart, not to communicate in a way to another nuclear cell that reduces their frequency or causes them to experience a negative reaction state, a negative magnetic polarity reaction state. Okay, meaning that it didn't feel good, right? Feel good codes, feel good frequencies. So that's why when I was a little boy, I had to be very careful, which means it's like I was on a platform last week, and the gentleman responded to what I communicated to that group, and he said, "So what you're talking about is self-regulation." That's exactly right. We're self-generators, self-generating electrical platforms. When the electric and the magnetic experience being one, equally sharing. So that means one is not trying to control the other, which is what we call a power trip, right? Like power strips, like Mobius strips. So an eternal sun is equally sharing what an eternal sun is experiencing, being what it is as a cell, which is on fire to give electrical power away, which is why we need a regulator, which is cell regulation, which is self-regulation, which is self-generating. Therefore, I knew as a child, that's why I'm giving everything away, right? That's why I ran out of money. I don't want to hold on to that money. I don't want to hold on to those electrons. Okay? It means I choose to be an eternal server, which is what love and service to others is, so that all cells have plenty of power, so they're not experiencing any delay in the return flow of electrical power. So you're always on fire. And that's tied directly to the creative quotient, the electrical speed of our creative ability to create something brand new that's never been experienced before, ever. The creative power is the electrical power, which is the electrical speed of creating something brand new, because we're creative artists, creative musicians. So it's natural. It is a natural spiral, which is a crystal wave. The inner crystal wave is the inner domain, inner eartha, the inner core still point of an eternal sun, kunda rays, the rays of light. So I'm experiencing the rays of light, what I am on the inside, what I experience on the outside, because I'm in love with everything that is in my mirror, because the mirror is the one I'm running. That's what I am is. I am one. Unique. The unique essence of my spirit. So I'm always on fire to play music, because I'm always dancing in spirit. So all the spirits and the molecules in the cells are on fire. Cosmic fire. Born of fire out of the first volcano. The first spin. Top breath above the waterline. Below the waterline. And so that comment talked about base 10 and base 12. They're simply, it's when you into programming language or programming codes and frequency, they're not compatible. That system is not compatible with ours. Okay. And so I'm very familiar with how it operates. It's a 10 code. And so you know what a 55 harmonic is. It's vampiric. Right? And so that's a simple translation. So when I was a child growing up, I acknowledged at 4 years of age, because of my mission status, what my job is. Okay, that meant that anything that is being done to me by virtue of who they are, of what they're going to introduce into the field, the morphogenetic field, the radio field, radio waves, whatever technology is being waged against me is not on me, it's on them, because they have their own record, their recording speed. Their record as a seeded race is reflected by their own records. So they have to live with their recording speed, their recording speed. They're responsible for their own CD, like a seeded race CD. Their record that is a file in a directory. So now you're into the parent directory or the eternal directory of every seed that is ever or will be planted as a new seed. So they're responsible for their own CD, which is their own recording speed. So that means that they're responsible for what they experience, which is based on who they are, not who I am. I'm responsible for my own records. That means self-directed learning. So everything that I'm learning by the recording speed of what I experience being what I am is the speed at which I'm learning. So I am sharing with others what I have learned through experience. And that is experiential cellular learning. So my cells are all happy and joyful to be learning at a higher rate of speed, to experience being one, which is fully activated and fully integrated, so that I experience being one, which is equal sharing, so that the atmospheric, structural, spiritual, engineering integrity, the integrity is the integration, where the electric and the magnetic are equally sharing. I am what you are what I am. We're one. And you can perceive that or translate that when we see each other with a male and a female, right? If I want to create another one, another newborn star, then when her and I become one, then we're going to generate a newborn star, a newborn starseed. So now we're into the accelerator of newborn seeds, newborn stars, generating a gazillion neurons on fire to create a universe, a cosmos that is in love with itself. What we experience on the inside is a reflection of who we are on the outside, because that's our mirror. So that's why I realize I'm going to experience a lot being done to me, but it's not going to be on me. It's going to be on them, because that's their record. They have to account for their own responsibility, whether they want to or not. In other words, just like a psychopath refuses to take responsibility for what it does. Okay? So on the one hand, I can say, well, you may not want to take responsibility for what it is that you're experiencing by virtue of the speed at which you're learning, which means whatever you do to me, you're doing to yourself, because that's your record. So whether you want to account for your record or not, it's automatic, because we all have a record, a file in the permanent records. So the permanent records don't lie. So in other words, you can lie to me, but I can assure you it's not very helpful to lie to yourself, which is to your own self, which is your record. Right? So now we're into what it's like to have to live with yourself. Right? And that's why I cried for 4 days. Because I have love and compassion for all living cells, all seeded races. That's what I am. I'm a guardian. So it's natural for me to protect everything that I am so that my shield is intact. And when my shield is intact, which is fully integrated, experiencing perfect structural engineering integrity, then everything that is all life that was within that shield, within the all creation, is naturally being protected because that's eternal, pure, absolute love. So love is the most powerful energy, which is natural to protect all life because everything that is in my mirror is a reflection of what I am, of everything I'm giving love to. And that's basic logic of a cell, a cellular processor, a mated chip, a silver and gold mated chip, right? Is to protect itself because it's in love with itself. The cell is on fire. So I keep it simple. So yes, absolutely. So anyway, have a beautiful day. We love you all. That's why we're here.